Portland is a transit-friendly city, and in some regard it needs to be, because it's connected by many bridges from the west to east side. As for public transportation, Portland has TriMet, which provides bus, light rail, and commuter rail transit services. Like many other large urban cities, Portland runs various rideshare services from cars to bikes and scooters. Biketown, a Nike-operated bike share service, runs throughout the greater Portland area. Unfortunately, these bikes are more prevalent on the west side, which limits its accessibility to potential users who live and need transportation on the east side. Rideshare services and mass public transit options are necessary in Portland in order to promote public transportation, smart mobility themes, and accessibility. Unfortunately, many of these options do not cater to the lower-income neighborhoods and populations of Portland. Assessing the barriers that the lower-income areas in Portland face is the first step to implementing more equitable smart mobility options in this city. Portland is the largest urban city in the state of Oregon with nearly 2 million residents. The highest concentration of houses below the poverty line and people of color are found on the east side of Portland, including Gresham neighborhoods, as seen in this graphic. East Portland is a hotspot of gentrification, which displaces lower-income residents and residents of color. Surveys conducted in this area often state a transportation disadvantage. With smart mobility focusing on accessibility, this is a perfect opportunity to eliminate challenges and boost usage. These issues that many lower-income households face include no access to a cellular device, no data on that phone, no access to public Wi-Fi, lower rates of car ownership, limited public transport travel times, lack of sidewalk opportunities, and overall high costs for transportation access. The area outlined in red on this map shows the study area that this research was conducted in. App-based technology being required for many rideshare services, car and bikes included, is a problem for many people. Some apps do not have adequate language translation technology as well. There is an issue of safety as well, considering these apps require personal information and bank cards. Some households don't even have access to bank cards, which are required for use. The overall struggle for mobility that many lower-income households face is amplified due to a lack of accessibility. With many mobility options requiring cashless payments, it limits its users. Rideshare services are app and bank card required, but the public bus and TriMet systems are allowing for cash payments still, but that will most likely be phased out eventually. Access to smartphones and data is a privilege that many respondents do not have, which then limits their rideshare options. This is a map of local Wi-Fi hotspots in the Portland area, and as you can see, there's a larger amount on the west side in downtown, and not nearly as many throughout the east side and Gresham neighborhoods, which are the lower income areas of Portland. Considering the demographics of this study, and particularly the study area, lower income and people of color were far more likely to have canceled cell service due to its cost and limiting data plans. So, what can we do? Considering all the aspects of transportation opportunities in Portland that do not cater to lower income areas, there is a lot to be done. Expanding free public Wi-Fi will benefit those who do have access to smartphones but might not have data plans. Providing more information kiosks that can reflect real-time transit schedules will increase user accessibility and timeliness. Limiting app-required rideshare options will allow for more populations to use these services, and especially those who are in lower income areas. Promoting cash and coin payments in public transportation options and rideshare operations will encourage more users. Not requiring a bank card will provide security for many residents as well. Improving language translation options in transport sharing apps will boost the accessibility for many residents of color and non-English speaking populations. With so many technological advancements fueling the nation's economy, it is ignoring many populations of people. Having smart mobility themes at the forefront of change in urban cities creates a greater need for those who are lower income and people of color to be considered.